Welcome, everybody. Thanks so much for coming today. This is a happy day in Consert and San Antonio. We wanted to provide a little update on the progress we've been making here in San Antonio. We reached agreement in June. We began moving in July, and we're here today. But the most important person for us to talk about today is the CEO. Doyle, if you would, please come up and say a word to us.
Thank you so much, Jack, and we are just as delighted as you are in being here. This really means a lot to us, and I'd also, I guess, like to acknowledge our city manager just walked in, Cheryl Scully. And of course, the city's also been a wonderful partner in helping us put this together. But on several levels, this really is very meaningful to CPS and San Antonio. I guess the first thing is, from just a personal standpoint, you all are good people, and it's been a pleasure to get to this point. You know, like any discussions and negotiations, you go through ups and downs. But I think at the end, we really came to a very good agreement, which we think is beneficial for our customers and our community. On the second level, it's very meaningful to us that you all trusted us to be a good enough partner to move here. I think that says a lot about not only what CPS can offer, but what the city of San Antonio can offer. And as I said to your team earlier, you know, Raleigh's not a bad place to live, and not a bad place to be. So for you all to come here to San Antonio to partner with us, I think really says a lot about our city, and we're awfully proud about that. The third level, I'd say, is very important, is that Consert technology really represents the flagship of our clean technology efforts, our new energy economy. We hope to get north of 250 megawatts of demand reduction from the Consert technology. That's really huge. It's really a size of a medium to small power plant. And of course, we all know that really the cheapest source of renewable energy is really conservation. So it's really big in terms of what we're doing and what we want to become here. And you all, to us, are the crown jewel of the first piece of this new energy economy we're trying to build in San Antonio. So on a whole lot of levels, it's extremely meaningful to us. We are delighted, flattered, and humbled by the fact that you're here and partnering with us. Still a lot to go. You know, as most would know by now, our larger ambition at CPS is really to become the hub of the new energy economy, and we think we're putting together a really great collection of partners, and Concert's really the first, and I would argue the flagship and really the key to making all this work. So thanks again. We're delighted to be here. Glad you're up and running. And as I committed to you a while back, Jack, that not only do we want you here, but we're just not going to say, you know, you're here now, great, and call us in a couple of years and let's see how you're doing. I think we have an obligation, as much as you have, to make you successful and do all we can, and we're going to continue to do that all the way through. So thank you again, and we're happy you're here.
Thank you.
I just simply want to congratulate CPS. The city of San Antonio. Cheryl, you guys are doing a great job. But most importantly, I wanted to congratulate Consert. This is an economic development success story. We're bringing jobs, Doyle. This is a wonderful opportunity to showcase how CPS can really step up to the plate and take part in our economic development process. This technology is the future. It really puts control back into the hands of the consumer, and I think that's what we really need to get out there, that message going out, going forward. This will help with what our job is, which is what you were talking about, is making sure that we have enough electricity that is reliable and that's affordable. And this is just one part of the puzzle, and I'm really happy that you've come to San Antonio, and I hope that you can keep working on hiring more people from this area. So I just want to congratulate everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what we've been doing here. We've hired 32 people so far in San Antonio, which we consider to be a good start. We've moved 20 people here, and we have more of both yet to do. So we would hope that we would have 10 to 20 more people in the next 3 to 6 months, and we are still committed to our exceeding our 150 by 2014. What you see when you walk around here, the things that are painted, that's 13,000 square feet. That's our initial installation. We have 5,000 feet that's been pre-designed where we punch through the wall back there in the back corner, and that will be our next expansion. And then we believe we'll take the rest of the building, which is 35,000 feet. We've been doing things in the community. So we've joined the San Antonio Chamber of Commerce, the North San Antonio Chamber, the Alamo Asian Chamber, the Hispanic Chamber, and we've built a burgeoning partnership with UTSA. Dr. Mojamshidi here is being very helpful to us. We're working on internships and other programs. We're working on hiring programs. I think that Scotty Scott recently left CPS to go to UTSA, and we're looking forward to working closer with him in the future as we look to hire people coming out of UTSA. We also are working with First Robotics, and as you know, Dean Kamen is the founder of First Robotics, and we're sponsoring the First Robotics program. We also intend to personally mentor a team of robotics. We've been working on our hardware and software. We've demonstrated 3.1, and it goes to general availability. That's our software release code. It goes to general availability in the next few days. On the next generation of hardware, the Bravo series is now out, and that's what's being installed. We think that everyone will be very pleased with both of those. We've had very good test results on all the equipment coming through on this new series of equipment. And I'd point out that what you see here is a test board. And for those of you who aren't aware, this is a meter. I tell you this because, interesting thing, the other day I was meeting with GE. And I was meeting with a person so high in the GE tree you can't imagine. Okay? And I said, what kind of meter do you have? And he said, I don't know. One of the good things about meters is people don't pay attention to them because they work. So, there's a GE meter, and inside that is our gateway. And that gateway is communicating back over the Verizon network. That's the wide area network. It reports everything that's going on. There's also a Zigbee module in here, which is communicating with everything inside the home. These are load control devices. This one is going to the hot water heater. This one the HVAC. And this is the thermostat. So this gateway is directing the activities of all of this equipment. It goes to a web interface monitor that looks like that in someone's home. But as we talked with Kathy Yates this morning, you can do it from anywhere. She's done it from Aruba.
Thank you, Lord.
She was able to save the day at her house from Aruba using all of this gear. So we've also been doing work other places in Texas in particular. We've had very positive third-party survey results from both Bluebonnet and Pedernales. And this is PECI is the company that was hired by those two co-ops and by LCRA. So it was a joint project. And in that they reported, are you ready, 100% customer satisfaction. I think that's a little soft. I wouldn't hold out 100%, but I'd hold out high 90s. Okay? It's very good survey results from them. 64% of those pilot participants reported that their overall comfort did not change, even though they participated in the program. More importantly, 28% said their comfort went up. We think that's really good. Some of that is 92% said it was the same or better. Also, 92% said they would definitely recommend this program to a friend or neighbor. We had a successful program also in Grayson Collin, which is just north of Dallas, and we hope to be moving that one on to commercialization pretty soon. We've got programs going in other implementations in New York, Maryland, North Carolina, Kentucky, and South Dakota. So we hope to show progress in other places, and obviously that will drive jobs and growth and additional technological development here. We're working with ERCOT here in Texas to become a controllable load resource. Trip Doggett, the president, has done a lot of work with us, and we consider a very good friend and mentor for our programs. He has said that Texas will be about 3 gigawatts short of capacity reserves in 2013. If we're going to address that, we need to start now. We're behind if we were working as hard as we could go today. And what the ERCOT numbers show is that 20% of the total electric load in the state of Texas is residential in the milder months of the shoulder season. But it's 48% during hot summer days and peaks. 48% is residential. So we think that residential has been left unaddressed in terms of really reducing the load. People have done demand response to nick off the peak a little bit, defer it, delay it, but we think we can reduce it and we can help people save money while we're doing it. We also have had expensive peaking in Texas and particularly in San Antonio in odd times during the year. Last February we had some very expensive peaking. We hit the $3,000 limit. We had some expensive peaking in the fall, got to $1,800 a megawatt hour. So what we did is we looked at the three utilities in Texas, Pertinalis, Bluebonnet, and CPS, combined those results to do a little study of our own. And what we found was that, well, first we looked at 3 to 7 p.m. for the months June, July, August, September. Those are the peak times in this part of the country. What we found is that we could get 3 kilowatts average from each air conditioner because the duty cycles ranged from 48% at 90 degrees. So when it's 90 degrees outside, the air conditioner was running half the time. But that rose to 82% at 110 degrees. That makes sense. That's what you notice at home. So that's what's driving these summer peaks in residences, and that's what we need to be addressing along with these other loads that you won't notice as much. So we were able to control 57% of residential load during peak times. You would also think that opt-outs would occur. That is, if we're in a conservation event, as we call it in CPS Energy Guard program, a conservation event, you would expect there to be opt-outs the longer you hold people in the event. Well, that's true. But we were able to control approximately 100% of the load for 1 hour, and if you set it at a 60% reduction, it goes 3 hours plus. So people will tolerate a bit for a long time. They'll tolerate a lot for a short time. So we'll work with CPS to figure out what's the optimization, what do you want to do, how best to use the tool. We also have found that in this math that we're very successful at achieving sort of the 500 homes is a megawatt. So that's our planning figure. We'll show the people who really want to know all the math that goes behind that, but it really does work. We also would tell you that we expect to exceed our growth goals in personnel. We are committed to achieving the 140,000 homes over the next 3 years. We've mentioned that Trip Doggett has been concerned about these dwindling reserves. We've sort of had an easy ride here in Texas due to the recession. Easy ride in terms of particularly the electrical energy. But with people closing down older plants, no more problems building newer plants, reserves are going to be a problem. The economy will come back. We will have hot weather. We need to get on to that. We were delighted to hear about the OCI announcement last week. We think that's a terrific thing for San Antonio and CPS. We would note that there is variability in solar output. We think we're the perfect partner for CPS and OCI. We think that reserves and the ability to do regulation on solar is critical. So we think that as the scale of CPS is 400 megawatts, you're going to need something like 400 megawatts of something. It's either going to be gas-fired peaking or it can be intelligent conservation as we do it. So we think we're a perfect partner and we look forward to working with those guys. This all comes from the vision of the mayor. It comes through city council. It comes through our city manager, Cheryl, Doyle Beneby, Chris Euxter, and all the CPS team have had a vision, and we're here to help you accomplish it. And that vision is to help the people of San Antonio save money and save the planet.